Hi there. I am going to be talking today about my first project to really incorporate 3D printing, and I think this is my fourth generation of Ion Bullpup paintball markers. So without further ado, let me introduce you to my Bullpup Mk4. This is a project that's quite a bit older in tooth than some of my others that I have on the channel, but I thought it would be a good recap because it's really when my modding kind of took a step up from being things cobbled together with a hacksaw and PVC pipe and started becoming thought out, designed plans put together with 3D printing and some thought. So the first thing is that I think this project started in about 2012, 2013-ish, as kind of on the drawing board and designs, and I started the core of it in 2013 and didn't really start getting 3D printed parts until about 2015. So originally it started as a PVC core with an aluminum low bar and an aluminum upper that the A5 grip attaches to and that the Dmag well attaches to. This is, I think it's Mk4. A quick rundown is that my Mk1 Bullpup was made out of wood, a wood body with custom-made magazines made out of PVC pipe. My Mk2 was made out of PVC entirely, with the exception of the grip. Both the Mk1, the Mk2, Mk3, and Mk4 all share using this A5 grip. Being, I still have the Mk3, which I'll do another video on. The Mk3 then was a still PVC core, A5 grip, but I used a welding shop to make a steel mag well to take wrap for Gen 6 and Gen 7 roundhead mags. So it was the first one to do that. The Mk1 and Mk2 both used my own mags made out of PVC pipes that would end up being just tossed away, but kind of funny because they were similar to Dmags in the respect that you have to flip them. I had two sides. So the Mk3 was a separate video, and this is the Mk4. What made it the Mk4 really was that I still had the Mk3 with its steel mag well, and that this would change mags using a Dmag well. Helix wasn't out yet, but I was fine using the 14 and 20 round flipping Dmags. So this is really more like the Mk4 V4. In that the Mk4 stayed the same, being electronic with a Dmag well, an A5 grip, PVC core, and aluminum skeleton, basically. Where the current gen, V whatever, probably like 6, is that it has a 3D printed exterior core and board tray. Previous models had a parts made out of G36 parts, handguards, parts made out of SCAR CASV, CASV rails, and custom-made bits, and then finally I got to this. So, real quick, yeah, it's an Ion, it's electronic. You can see right here that that's the power switch and I toggle. It's getting a little old in age now. Uses a, I think it's called a Mark V, which is the A5 magwell. This was before they rebranded to Vortex. And I think it's about time to do a teardown. So I think what's in here currently, after I pull my slip foot, yep, is a 16-inch Custom Products 689 barrel. So you can see there's a lot of barrel in a little package. And really what we're after is gonna be here. it's secured with 1 screw on the side and 2 screws on the top. That screw goes through the mag well and through the board tray, and these 2 go directly into the Ion core. This was years before I had a 3D printer. So I had these sent out to a 3D printer on 3D hubs, who printed out the body pieces one by one. I want to say it cost me. This was the second generation of body parts. The first gen I did locally, but I wasn't happy with the print quality or the cost. I want to say the 3D print model before this cost me like $80. $90. It was $30 a part. When I ended up getting these done, they had to be done by somebody in California, and it cost me a lot less. It cost me, I want to say it was like 20 bucks a piece. It might have been less. It has been a while. It was a very long process because I was trying to be a cheapskate about it. All right. Once that's off, body. Please. There we go. It has been a while. Okay. So once the buttstock is off, and that's probably the only body piece I'll really pull, you can see that this is one large 3D printed piece. And now that I've been 3D printing for a couple of years myself, this was really a gutsy first design. It's a very large part. It looked like the printer printed it vertically. It's all PLA, which has actually held up okay over the years. And gray was the color he had, so I've left it that way. This one is a bit of a pain to disassemble and reassemble, so I don't do this terribly frequently, but it has been a while and it's worth doing. Alright, so now, if I'm very, very careful, I can get the magazine well out, which I had to do some modifications. There's a custom printed spacer in there, or not printed, custom dremeled. I believe it's a Teflon spacer bought from Home Depot with some, like Dev Glue or epoxy in there to hold it, and a piece of aluminum and a couple screws to hold a slightly stronger spring on the magazine release to make it work better. I also cut the corners off of the magazine release because those would dig into my hand, because this magazine well was not designed for bullpup use. And then after that's done, I can pull off one half of the board housing, and you can see, ta-da, that there is a Scenario Dreams T-board with a fair bit of modification done. I'm going to try and zoom in. So zoomed in,